Hey everybody, Ryan here from Android Calls. I'm here to do a review on the Casio PRO TREK smartwatch. This is the WSD-F20. I know there's the new F30 that was just announced today, actually. At not IFA. I'm not sure. Maybe it's pre-IFA. Anyways, I just want to talk about this guy for the time being. So it's a nice little smartwatch. I say little, but this is honkingly huge. This is my Moto 360 Sport. Compared to that, it is about the same size screen, but like just a massive case here. So nice Casio back, but that also means there's no heart rate monitor that's on there. But this really is kind of like their G-Shock series. So if you're used to these big bulky activewear kind of things from Casio, this is what you'll probably be used to. Now, I'm using my favorite watch face, but you can get a bunch of different other watch faces as they know. So let's take a look at it. So yeah, it's pretty big. The first awkward thing is that there's looks like an open port on this side, and that is for the charger. So it doesn't use QI either because of the metal back. There's a little magnetic hold thing in there, and it usually is okay, but sometimes if I leave it sitting charging, I gotta be very careful how I leave this charging, that the cord doesn't unplug. So that's a little bit awkward, and I just wasn't sure how well it was to leave it out like that, but I'm sure it's fine. This thing has got lots of IP68 proofing and whatnot. Military A10, G, whatever they call it, proofing, so we'll be fine. So it's big, it's massive. It's got 3 buttons. The tool button brings up some features, like I think this is water fish feature. Swipe it out. It's not too bad for smooth. What was this? This is tides, I think. And there was some other features there too. I can't remember where there's, but I don't know why. Sometimes they show up, sometimes other ones don't show up. Sometimes 4 of them show up, whatever. They got an app button here. The app button brings up a map, and you can scroll around on the map. You can zoom in. Feels very clunky. You can use 2 fingers to zoom in, but it's very, very, very slow to do so. And then if you want to mark a place on a map, you can. Again, why would you do it there versus do it in Google Maps? But that's just me. So then, standard button to bring up your apps. So it has a really cool feature where you can hit this timepiece, and what it does, it puts it just into the secondary LCD display mode, where it's just a watch. No smart features, but it'll last like something like a month or so on the battery, if not, or months on the battery. So that's pretty cool. And actually, when you go into the settings, and I turned off always on display. That's my son falling down, hopefully not. I mean, always on display. Turn that off. When you give it a couple seconds and it goes away, I can't remember how long it takes before it goes away. I could do that. No, it's going. And there it is. There's your LCD display. That is pretty cool. Actually, it's enough just to see it in the daytime. So you can always still see what time it is. And if battery's getting really low, you just put it in there, and then it's a watch. So if I go on a long trip and I forgot to bring my charger, which you only have one, it's not like a standard QI charger you would get from wherever. You're sunk, right? So there you go. Speaking of the battery does last about 2 days when you have it in always on display mode turn off. I would get about the end of the day and find out about 51%. If I hadn't done today, I'm down to 30% after I put it on about 7:30. So that's 16 hours and it's down to 30%. But I've done some biking today to go through it, so that was kind of how it works. The battery, yeah. So otherwise it should last. It should last you a while. I mean, that shouldn't be an issue if you charge it every night, but just be noticed that the charger kind of is a pain. What else do I want to talk about it? So it is a bulky watch. it does take some getting used to. And I'm actually, when I first started going, oh, this was too big, too bulky, too whatever, I've actually gotten really used to it. And it doesn't mesh too harshly against me, business casual. So it's kind of neat. I kind of enjoy that. The one thing, the band feels a little cheap. I gotta admit, the band feels a little cheap. The housing, I don't know if you can hear that. Doesn't feel exactly all. Feels a little cheap in that sense. I mean, again, it's got the testing on it that it should last a good long time, but I've got some good scrapes on it already. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, it's pretty neat. The downside, I would say, I don't like is that when I go into their activity mode and I say I start charging or cycling, this is a cycling I did with my son. We didn't go very fast. Let's go, oops, yeah. So I can see, top speed, distance. Like, that's pretty cool. I recorded an activity, but I can't see the map for it. And if I want to go into their moment setter, this is where you'd actually start an activity where you could say cycling or whatever, fishing. Well, that's the fishing, paddling, extras, settings. Where was it? Anyways. But I can't see how I would go into, oops. It's usually a little faster than this. Oh, wrong button. I want moment setter. I go to recent. But, where's my information from my bike to my parents' house to pick my son up? I can't get that. So thankfully Google Fit will track all that stuff for me. So it's a pretty good watch if you like the activity. I personally kind of thinking the new F30 might be a little better. It's a same watch without the flat tire, slightly skinnier, slightly better band. We'll have to see what the price is for that. Anyways, I'll have a full review up on the website. If you have any questions for me, just give me a shout. Okay, thanks guys.